Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Steelers TJ Watt turns heads with Instagram post amid contract speculation. As the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. In the case of Pittsburgh Steelers edge rusher TJ Watt on Thursday, all of those words, and then some, came from NFL pundits. The edge rusher posted a picture of himself delivering a peace sign in a Road Steelers jersey to his Instagram story on Wednesday. Watt didn't provide a caption. TJ Watt on IG Wednesday #Steelers Nation doesn't have to worry, though, because plenty of NFL insiders provided their own commentary to the image. Watt's social media post featuring the 7-time Pro Bowler flashing 2 fingers in what has morphed from meaning peace to peace out has prompted speculation that Watt is looking to leave the Steelers, Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio wrote. It's possible, if not likely, that he's looking to get paid. Demanding a trade worked for Browns defensive end Myles Garrett, he emerged from the escapade with a contract carrying a new money value of $40 million per year. Very unlike him, NFL insider Ian Rappaport didn't really have any inside information on the Watt social media post. But Rappaport inferred its intended meaning. When a player makes a cryptic social media post, it's almost never nothing. So let's assume for the sake of argument, for the sake of me actually having a reason to talk about this, that it is something, Rappaport argued on Thursday's Good Morning Football via Steelers Depot's Joe Clark. That speculation has led to writers already proposing trades where the Steelers send Watt to potential contenders for a plethora of draft capital. Watt's 4-year, $112 million extension he signed in 2021 will expire after the 2025 season. Florio was quite critical of the Steelers in his assessment of the Watt social media post. The NFL insider used a 40-year-old pop culture reference from a movie people didn't exactly go see in droves when it came out to take a shot at the franchise over its pursuit of Aaron Rodgers. But Florio's overall point wasn't wrong. The Steelers have had other priorities this offseason instead of Watt's extension. Watt's post could have simply been a public reminder to the team not to forget about him. Quiet loyalty and consistency get taken for granted. Squeaky wheels get greased, Florio wrote. Watt's 2-finger gesture seems to be the first loud noise aimed at getting the Steelers to prioritize his situation. Again, Rappaport didn't have a concrete update. The NFL insider, though, appeared to make a strong guess. I think we can safely say that contract negotiations between TJ Watt and the Steelers are not off to a rip-roaring start, Rappaport said. Doesn't mean they won't get there. They've gotten there before. Steelers insider Mark Kaboly provided a more hopeful update for Pittsburgh. However, Kaboly didn't exactly say Watt's post was much to do about nothing. After talking to people, I'd keep an eye on this Steelers TJ Watt contract situation moving forward a little more closely, tweeted Kaboly. It doesn't appear that the IG picture he posted yesterday was just by chance. I'd imagine an extension is still going to eventually get done, but that price tag just might be a tad bit higher than some anticipated. It's not surprising that the Steelers haven't already signed Watt to a contract extension. In 2021, the two sides didn't agree to a new deal until 3 days before the regular season began. But to Florio's point, the Steelers could have benefited from prioritizing Watt's next deal a little more. Edge rushers Myles Garrett and Max Crosby both signed multi-year extensions this offseason that will pay them more than $35 million per season. Furthermore, veteran edge rusher Danielle Hunter received a 1-year, $35.6 million deal this offseason. With his last contract, Watt became the highest-paid defender in the NFL with an average annual salary of $28 million. It's possible Watt will want to beat Garrett's new record of $40 million per season. Rappaport argued Watt is worth every penny. Based on his past production, Rappaport is absolutely right. But the question is how elite will Watt remain into his 30s when his next contract expires? That could be the sticking point for the Steelers. It's a problem partially of the Steelers' own making, though. Before this offseason, the highest-paid defender in the NFL was Nick Bosa at $34 million per season. Steelers TE had three-word message for team's feelings on QB Mason Rudolph. It's April 2025 and the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback sweepstakes are still ongoing. At the moment, the team is waiting on a commitment from veteran Aaron Rodgers, whom they'd been courting for about a month, but they have since signed former backup Mason Rudolph presumably to start should Rodgers fall through. They'll need more depth than that, so they are also meeting with draft prospect Shedeur Sanders, whose stock may have fallen enough that Pittsburgh could snag him with the 21st pick. Considering the gravity of the team's QB problem, they need to know ASAP whether Rodgers will be in black and gold next season. If not, and if they do not draft Sanders, head coach Mike Tomlin has expressed confidence in Rudolph as a QB1 option, even though he never wore that hat as intended during his previous 4 seasons with Pittsburgh. In further good news, though, Steelers tight end Pat Freiermuth has also praised Rudolph's abilities and talent as a starter, which he endorsed with just 3 simple words: all the belief. Speaking on an episode of the Kabbali and Mack podcast, hosted by Mike Kabbali and Chris Mack, Freiermuth said, "As guys on the team, we have all the belief in Mason. You know, he made some big plays when he was here last, winning 3 straight games to make it to the playoffs," the TE continued. "Whatever happens, happens, but we will see." Rudolph threw for a total of 3,085 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions across 21 games in his 4 seasons with Pittsburgh. In 2024, he played 8 games for the Tennessee Titans, when he racked up a total of 1,530 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. He is seen more as a journeyman, but given his knowledge of the franchise, it's fair to assume he could be a good enough band-aid for the time being. "I wouldn't question what God has planned for me." Shedeur Sanders opens up on possibly being backup QB behind Aaron Rodgers for Steelers. Shedeur Sanders recently discussed his prospects with the Pittsburgh Steelers in a brief interview with Kay Adams. The Pittsburgh Steelers are eager to add Sanders to their roster, not necessarily as a starting quarterback, but as a backup for Aaron Rodgers. With Sanders' aggressive main character energy, analysts have often wondered as to whether the young quarterback will be ready to take on such a role with any team. However, as per his recent conversation with Kay Adams, it looks like Shedeur Sanders is ready to take on any role that life will throw at him. That's the way that things play out, and that's how it play out. "I wouldn't question what God has planned for me," Shedeur Sanders said to Kay Adams when he was asked if he would be ready to play as Pittsburgh's second choice behind veteran Aaron Rodgers. Of course, that is if Aaron Rodgers does indeed choose to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have been baiting Rodgers with a sweet contract for some time now, but the 42-year-old quarterback has not given any solid confirmation as to if he's on board with the team. Certain reports state that Rodgers is actually holding out for the Minnesota Vikings to give him an offer. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is expected to be one of the top names in the upcoming NFL draft, with numerous teams eyeing him. Sanders last played for the Colorado Buffaloes and made a great impression on scouts on Pro Day. If Sanders manages to join the Pittsburgh roster, the team will have better chances of improving their performance from the last season. In the 2024 NFL season, Pittsburgh finished second in the AFC North after winning 10 games and losing 7. On another note, Shedeur Sanders' trainer, Darryl Colbert, recently came out in his defense for his arrogant attitude. Sanders has been labeled confident and cocky by a number of NFL coaches, especially after his pro day. Colbert discussed the same on The Rich Eisen show and remarked that Sanders' attitude is exactly what any coach would want in a quarterback. Sanders' quarterback coach and trainer went on to mention that the young player would easily fit into any team's system. Sanders' confidence, while impressing numerous people, has also managed to get on some nerves, with several coaches and analysts criticizing him for this. And you fan? What do you think about Shedeur Sanders' situation? Write to us in the comments.